police captain, father, and jiu-jitsu black belt. Amazing individual today. We're so excited for today's episode of Inside the Fight. Jeff, thank you so much for being on Inside the Fight today with us. I'm just so excited to have you on the show. You're one of the coolest guys I know. Your history, your background, your passion for helping people is just amazing. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us what part of the country you're from and why you like jiu-jitsu.
It's my pleasure to be on. I'm Jeff Walther. I'm from North Idaho. I love jiu-jitsu for all the reasons that probably everybody else does. Not only the training and the benefits to life, but the people that I get to meet, to include yourself.
Oh, well, it's too kind, my friend. Now, the funny thing is, you know, we know someone in common. She's a little more significant to you than she is to me officially by paper, but why don't you tell me about that?
So the first stem cell seminar that I showed up at, you were teaching, and I brought my wife to convince her, like, this is a good idea. And it turns out you guys went to school together, like grade school.
We did.
To school together.
Yeah, we were childhood best friends. So yeah, when the two of you showed up, I was just really blown away. So earlier when you said family, like jiu-jitsu family, it just really blew my mind to remake that connection and know, you know, how significant that is. Now you have a very special job. I just want to thank you first and foremost for serving the community and protecting the community. Can you tell us about your role within the police department?
Sure, it's my pleasure. So I've served for 21 years now with the Coeur d'Alene Police Department in all different aspects. But currently I serve as a police captain, which means there's the chief, and then there's me and another captain, and I run uniform patrol.
Gotcha. So what role does jiu-jitsu have in the police force, or should have in the police force?
It should have a huge role. Unfortunately, across the country, it probably doesn't have the role that it should. I recognize that pretty early on. As far as the police interactions go, jiu-jitsu has the ability to keep them safe, to keep the community safe, because the people that we police and the citizens who we end up sometimes, unfortunately, using use of force with,
right,
it can save injuries. It can save. It can really get a hold of control of a situation really fast.
Right.
Without having to escalate things.
Yeah, I actually just read an interesting statistic last week that police departments that incorporate Leo trainings with and have a direct relationship with jiu-jitsu academies, they have like a 70% decrease in physical harm to either the perpetrators and or the police officers.
100% true. One of the things I've worked on from my side of things in jiu-jitsu after I found it was making it mandatory in the state, which I was able to accomplish. And it's now the main curriculum for the defensive tactics in the state of Idaho.
Wow.
So every officer at the beginning of their training, and us at our department who train, I think my cops get 60 hours a year in service, and we've seen a significant decrease in injuries to both suspects and officers.
That's amazing. So now here's the interesting thing. A lot of times people will think that it's just the physical techniques that might be making that difference, but you and I both know jiu-jitsu helps facilitate huge changes in our mental focus, concentration, problem solving. So the training that you're doing with your officers, what is that doing on the mental side for their well-being as well, interacting with the public?
Oh, the mental side is huge. So what I've found is the higher level of training you have, the less likely you are to get in a critical incident, because you see things at a distance. You see threats coming
right.
A lot earlier than an untrained officer. And then on the mental health aspect, you know, when you get on the mats and everything disappears for 2 hours, the stress disappears, life kind of disappears because you're focused in the moment. That has a huge positive impact on their mental well-being and their ability to react to stress.
Yeah, absolutely. And jiu-jitsu, you know, is like problems. It's like chess match. So you have to learn how to use your brain, learn how to use your body, and that really, I think, is the key to decreasing and de-escalating situations. What do you think about that?
Oh, for sure. And it de-stresses life. And so then when you're not stressed in life, you're not stressed on the job. It's way easier. I mean, my wife could probably testify to the fact that when I miss training, I get a little grumpy.
Yeah.
And so it has impacts across all of life.
Yeah, she's like, you need to get to class, man. Yeah, instead of
And
telling you to pick up the socks, she's telling you to get to class.
what'd you say?
I
I'm
said,
sorry.
instead of telling you to pick up the socks, she's telling you to get to class.
Maybe she buys me a new gi, which I'm okay with.
Okay, that's all right too. Now you have a very special role at Alpha Jiu-Jitsu in Idaho. Can you tell us what that role is?
So I'm one of the black belt instructors. I'm not from the association, but we don't have a Pedro Sauer school up here. And they were the owner of the school knows me. He's seen me teach, and they offered me a job. And so I took that job, and I teach the 6 a.m. class, but I also do a free law enforcement program where the cops can come in for free up until they earn a blue belt. And really, that's the goal. If every cop was a blue belt, that's like a superpower.
Right.
That's what I want to drive for. And so I offer that for free to any sworn member of law enforcement in my region that can get here by.
That's amazing. And we're seeing more of these programs growing across the country, and it's driven by data, right? Like as we were talking earlier. And so when we can see where could be safer for the perpetrators, safer for the officers, safer for the community, why would every police organization or sheriff's organization not want to implement this into their programs?
I think just they don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Because they're not familiar, it's a little bit scary. But I will tell you, it also has reduced liability for our agency.
Okay.
What I do is I invite the insurance manager who manages the insurance for our agency to come to my instructor classes and see what we're doing.
Right.
And the best program I've seen in the state.
Yeah, that's amazing. So how would you encourage maybe other professors or academies to build relationships with law enforcement organizations in their area? What would be a good first step for them to do that?
You have to find somebody dynamic enough that's willing to take it on. You know, I'm fortunate in that I'm also the senior master instructor for the state of Idaho, so I have a lot of influence at the state level.
Okay.
But find those guys locally.
Yeah.
If you want to know how I put a program together, I can give you that blueprint. I don't mind.
Fantastic. So someone could reach out to you directly and get a hold of that information?
100%.
Oh my gosh, that's a game changer. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who own academies, who want to engage with police enforcement agencies in your area, Jeff Walther, we're going to get his information, his social media contacts available to you so you can help build those relationships and help your community. Man, I can't believe you just offered that for that. And it really just shows your heart and how you're wanting to help people, brother.
Oh, if I could make, like I said, every cop a blue belt, that's a superpower. It's saved my life multiple times and worth all the tuition that I ever paid in that one instance. So the more cops, the more citizens I can help, I'm all down. And I don't mind for free. Here's the blueprint.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Now, I want to change gears just a little bit. Now, you came to the educational event or the seminar that we were doing, not because you just wanted to learn about it, but you were having some serious problems with your body.
I was. I've been in jiu-jitsu for 16 years. I've been in law enforcement for 21. I'm a bit of a grinder. Maybe I didn't always treat my body the best. I was suffering from a bulged disc in my neck that was causing my arm to go numb and 24/7 pain. I had thought it was a shoulder issue, and the year before, they looked at my shoulder and it was messed up, but probably wasn't the issue. And so I had it completely rebuilt. I came back and I still had the pain and the numbness. So I asked them to check my neck, to check my spine. And Sure enough, I had a disc. And I was scheduled for surgery.
Yeah. So if we really think about that, the significance of that, had you gotten the right information, had they looked at things a little differently, you could have completely potentially avoided a surgery and a whole level of other recoveries. And I mean, it's really kind of interesting. Now, tell me what happened for you after you came into the office and got therapy with New Hope Regeneration.
So we had spoke, and I really wanted to avoid another surgery. I've had both of my knees rebuilt. Again, just hard training. We spoke, and you said, "Hey, just give it a try." And so I did. I was a little nervous coming in, and then it was like, it's 15 seconds, and I think our conversation lasted longer than the therapy.
Right.
And I did not know what to expect. I think it was 3 weeks later after the therapy, I woke up and I had no more pain and I had no more numbness in that arm. And it had been a year and a half that it had persisted every
Right.
single day, and I just woke up and it was gone.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that I noticed after therapy.
What were some of the other maybe surprising benefits that you've seen or experienced either in yourself or maybe some of the other people that you know that you've gotten therapy? Because sometimes people think, oh, well, it's just good knees for hips and shoulders. But there's a lot of other things people are seeing improvements with.
There is. So I noticed my sleep had improved. My ability to recover after workouts had improved. And because of the pain and the neck issue, my jiu-jitsu was a bit sporadic,
Yeah.
where it would just take me so long to get healthy to get back on the mats after a night of training that
Right.
it was keeping me off the mats.
Yeah.
Since therapy, I don't miss a day without rolling, and I don't have the pain, and my recovery's faster. My wife would report that I don't snore as much. I don't think she would tell you that I don't snore as much.
Yeah.
Some of the things that I have a lot of friends in the jiu-jitsu community. Some of them have also done the therapy, and they report that they don't wear glasses anymore because anything that degenerates will regenerate.
Right.
I still have glasses.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I wish I could get the eyesight thing.
Yeah.
But, I won't do it again.
Right.
It was such a positive experience. I would totally do it again.
And if you think about it, with all the other tools that are available, many of those things are, you're taking pills all the time, you're having to go spend hours and hours at a rehab office all the time. What's it been like to come into our office? It takes 15 to 30 seconds to get therapy in the big picture. As you said, we talked more than the therapy was, to have this kind of change in your life.
It was a lot. I know a lot of people who have had neck surgery with same issues as mine,
Right.
And it didn't end up positive. And this was a extremely positive experience with a great result, and it hasn't come back.
Yeah.
And it's been 16 months now.
Yeah, we're a little over a year now. So, well, Jeff, thank you so much for sharing your personal story. What would you say to other academy owners, athletes and regular people who are contemplating, connecting with New Hope or even partnering with New Hope?
Oh, I would say 100% get the education piece. I came in uneducated, and the stuff that you see on the internet isn't accurate. It's really an education seminar.
Yeah.
Get that, just to know what it is. And then jiu-jitsu people need it. The cops need it. Anybody that is an athlete or has a job where they're expected to perform physically will benefit from stem cell therapy.
Right. Well, thank you so much for that. We're so excited to see what's happened for you and your family. More importantly, what you're doing in the community, how you can stay in the game, how you can keep training, but mentoring all of these other amazing, law enforcement officers and helping the community just in profound ways. We're just grateful for you and your heart, brother.
Well, I appreciate it. It's my pleasure.
Awesome.
Thanks
well, thank you so much, Jeff. I can't wait to come out to the academy and spend some time next time I'm in town. Anything, last bits of wisdom you would like to share with people, all things jiu-jitsu, before we head off?
Just know your why. My journey has changed just mainly because of injuries, and just coming back. Like if I was just focused like I was in the beginning on competition, and then the injuries happened that took me out of that world, I would probably have quit.
Yeah.
But I want an example for my sons and a good example for my law enforcement community. And I want to teach people especially cops, to protect themselves and to protect others. So
Right.
you have that why dialed in.
Awesome. Well, thank you, brother, so much for your time. For those of you that have enjoyed Jeff's message and story today and want a why, you have a strong why, but maybe your body's not cooperating, go to InsideTheFight.net to learn more information. And ladies and gentlemen, we can't wait to see you on the next episode of Inside the Fight for more amazing stories of black belts from around the country.